Day to dinner for V-Day. So we're just in the car. Going to dinner. We're matching, wearing all black. Well, another Valentine's Day in the books.
Well, it's not in the books if it's not over.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's almost over. I mean, it's 9 o'clock. Almost 9 o'clock. But another Valentine's Day with my sweetie, my Pookie Bear. Buddy Pop.
How many Valentine's Days?
Buddy Popper. Oh, what did we say it was? 8 years? How many years? Yeah, I think 8 years.
Yep.
8 years, Brody. It's like actually crazy that we have been together. We've been married for 4 years in March. Next month it'll be 4 years of marriage. 8 years we've been together.
Okay. So what's the key?
He says, what's the key? I don't think there is a key. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like people look to marry people to like give them the answers, but there really are no answers. That's honestly how I feel about it. I mean, obviously, you know, people say things like, oh, communication, oh, trust, oh, you know, respecting your partner, blah, 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 blah. I mean, obviously, you need all that stuff, but, like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just, I think it's just having the willingness to want to make it work. And truly, like, being with the person that you're supposed to be with. Like, we were watching this live earlier, and at the end of it, the content creator we were watching, she said that, like, a lot of people are with people and they know that they're not supposed to be with them people. But they are. And it's like, for whatever reason, however you justify that. Like, I was with a guy, like
You was with what guy?
one of my exes I was with, and it's like, I know I wasn't supposed to be with him, but I was. Because I was benefiting from that relationship in a way that, like, I could justify it. So I feel like...
How could you justify it?
I don't want to go into detail if we're going to post this, because I just feel like that's not appropriate. So we will save that conversation for another time. But yeah, I just feel like, and just when I like look at my friends and like you know when that man is not good for you, you know, but sometimes it's hard to leave, and I get that. But I'm saying, like, I feel like that can hold you back from finding the person that you're really supposed to be with. So I just don't think there's like a magic answer. Like, I don't think it's like, do this and you'll attract this man, do blah blah blah. Like, there's no, to me, there is no like, there's no magic in finding a partner. Like, it's really not. It's just, who are you willing, I tell people this all the time, what are you willing to deal with? What are you willing to put up with? Because we as people, we are imperfect people, and we all come with some level of baggage and imperfectness. So you just have to decide, how much are you willing to put up with? And choose every day to love that person no matter what. To commit to making it work. So, I don't know. I just feel like people want the like status of the being in a relationship, the status of marriage. They want what it looks like on the outside, but they don't want to put the work in. And that's men and women. Like, really put the work in. Okay, everybody be quick to say,
like it's super hard though.
No, I'm not saying that it's super hard, but it takes work.
Yeah.
It takes work. I mean, for us, honestly, it's been chill. Like, it hasn't been like crazy, but I mean, there has been moments where
But
it's...
how much work would you define too much work to the point where you might as well do something else?
Well, I feel like if you're the only person pushing, then it's never gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, both people have to be, and when I say work, I mean like emotional work. So when they say choosing your battles, yeah, that's some advice that, yes, I would recommend. Like, you can't get all up in arms about everything, not in a marriage, because you'll just be fighting over everything. Like, there are some things that you have to just say, you know what, I'm gonna let him have that. I'm gonna let him, you got it this time, you know. But that takes emotional work to, like, be able to control yourself in that way, and like on a daily basis, not just like just going off, you know, like you would with someone else. You have to remember, like, no, this is the person that I love. This is the person that I'm sharing my life with. But that's just what I think. So, Greg, what do you think? Like, do you think there are, like, crazy relationship keys that you could give people?
I feel like you should never go to bed angry. I know we don't do that no more.
We used to.
I think back, yeah, we used to back in the day. Like, you know, when it would be like 2 years into our relationship, probably, when it was still pretty early. But I just think that's because we was immature, and it was like, oh, you know, who's gonna tap out first, who's gonna give in first. But I feel like, you know, when you 21, 22, that's cool, but when you get older, it's just really not worth it. Because you never know what could happen to that person the next day or in the next hour. And do you really want the last memory of you being with them some, you know, negative or mad? So I always be like, at this point, you know me, I'd be the first one to be like, whatever, like, let's just sit down and talk. Let's talk about it. So that's probably one. I mean, I also was thinking about it earlier too, just for no reason. It's like, you remember when we was like still in them first 2 years, and even now, how we used to have the little sit downs.
Yeah.
And I feel like the sit down is good. So for those who don't know what that is, you know, we would always ask each other. I felt like when the tension was rising, or we both felt that we was getting angry at each other, we would be like, you know, do we want to have a sit down? We'd be like, yeah. So then we would just literally just pause whatever activity we doing, and literally just, you know, have a sit down, look each other in the eyes, intimate eye contact, and talk about, you know, what was bothering us. I also remember early on too, you remember we used to have little mini feedback sessions.
We did.
And that was probably like
that was
the
really
first
helpful.
6 months of dating.
Yeah.
Like, we would just have feedback sessions where it was positive or negative. It's just like, how's this going? How are you feeling? Are we wasting each other's time? Are we not wasting each other's time? Do you see this going anywhere? Do you like this? And I feel like, you know, even though some people may feel like sometimes things are automatic, it's just nice to hear. You know, it's nice to hear from your partner that I'm enjoying this, or I'm having so much fun. Or vice versa. I'm not liking it. You should probably, you know, not do that. And sometimes, you know, people have negative feedback, but they don't know the right time to say it, or sometimes they never say it. So I feel like when you just flat out ask the question, or just, you know, put pressure on the topic, be like, give me some feedback, positive, negative, then you realize, you know, sometimes they've been holding stuff in that they've been waiting to tell you, because it's just, you know,
sometimes it is hard to find like the right time to like bring up something. But I like that we do little feedback. I mean, we haven't done it in a while, I guess maybe in a year. Feedback, like a little feedback session.
That's good. We done, like you said, we done did the work.
Yeah.
In terms of feedback, because I feel like feedback is usually something that's you know, it's been like a trend of something happening that we haven't addressed.
But it could
now,
also be a good thing. Like, maybe we should be doing them more because it
I'm
could...
just letting y'all know, you two. Y'all see how she just cut me off.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
So, because she cries when I cut her off.
I'm sorry.
She literally cries tears and say, Greg, oh, I was talking, you cut me off. And y'all just seen video proof. So make sure you post this. I'm posting this. It's video proof that you cut me off. And I'm not even mad. You know what I'm saying?
I said I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just let you have it.
I said I'm sorry.
But I'm just saying, if it was me, she'd be crying. Proceed.
But yes, I'm saying we could have the feedback sessions, even if it's just, like you said, even if it's just positive stuff. It doesn't have to be stuff that's going wrong necessarily. But they are very helpful. And one of my friends actually is practicing that in her relationship. And because Greg is a words of affirmation person, I think they mean a lot to him. I mean, they mean a lot to me now, but at first I was just kind of like, really? Because I'm not, that's not one of my love languages. So it was kind of awkward at first for me to give him this verbal feedback. I was like, isn't it enough that we spend all this time together, you show me that you care about me, that you love me, etc. So I will say, if words of affirmation is low on your love languages, or just not something that you know, understand, it can be a little awkward at first. But knowing that it might be high on your partner's, priority, obviously you want to make sure that they're understanding the way that you're trying to give them love. And if that's through affirmation, then whatever, we're growing in that way. But you know what? I think the only advice I would really probably give somebody in a relationship or in a marriage is to maintain your autonomy. And Greg probably is I'm a broken record because I always say that. But I think that for me, that's been one of the most important things that we could have gifted to each other in this 8 years, is the fact that we still feel like individuals, and we've been able to accomplish goals and things that we've wanted to do as individuals outside of each other. And I feel like when people get in relationships and in marriages, everything becomes everything becomes about us as a unit. And a lot of times, what you want as a person, as an individual, kind of gets thrown to the side. So I feel like, to an extent, we've maintained who we are. We haven't tried to change each other, and we've really embraced each other's evolution and welcomed it, to be honest.
Evolution.
So I will say that,
True.
I literally wrote that in my vows. I am your road dog. Whatever you want to do, whatever little journey you want to embark on, I'm gonna be here. Even with the bodybuilding thing, obviously we had a conversation about that, because that changed up our whole lifestyle. And I told him, I'm gonna be with you 100%. And it might not be easy. We had a couple arguments during that prep time, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna stand with you. I'm gonna rock with you on it. I'm gonna try to support you and help you as much as I can, etc. So I think we both have just really supported each other, and whatever it is that, again, we've embarked on from an individual standpoint. And just knowing that that person has your back, knowing that they will support you. Even right now, I'm beginning my journey as a travel agent, travel advisor, and I know that Greg is gonna be my biggest cheerleader on that.
I ain't gonna be no cheerleader. I'm gonna be a fanboy.
And support me on that.
I'm gonna be a fanboy.
And keep me you know, keep me focused on it, like hold me accountable, like all that stuff. Like having an accountability partner, like it's such a big deal. Somebody that's gonna push you towards your goals and etc. So anyway, I think like that's honestly the biggest piece of advice I could give somebody is just like, don't lose yourself in your marriage. I think especially for women.
Well, they got to get to the marriage
Or your relationship. Don't lose yourself in your relationship or your marriage. Try to stay true to you. Keep doing the things you like to do. Like, again, to an extent. Okay. Well, bye for now, guys. We're about to head off to dinner.